Hey, I'm Hannah Weiss, the Education Manager at the Science Museum of Western Virginia, and this is your Moment of STEM. And this week, we're going to talk about movie monsters. See, as we get real close to Halloween, I love watching horror movies. And I'm not talking about the new ones, where the monsters kind of jump out at you with a knife. I mean the old school ones. The ones where the makeup is fantastic, and the special effects are more of an acquired taste than anything else. I love those movies. But if you grow up watching them like I did, and also are lucky enough to grow up with an infectious disease specialist for a father, like I have, you might kind of start to notice something strange about these movie monsters. Their horrible characteristics, the things that are supposed to terrify you, stop being so scary and start being more like, well, a list of symptoms. I mean, you have vampires, right? And vampires, well, they're afraid of the sunlight. They bite people. They're repelled by garlic and they can't cross running water. You have werewolves who have these kind of ferocious behaviors and bite people. And to a certain extent, you even have zombies. The more modern ones, they're just kind of filled with rage and bite people. There's a lot of biting people. But all of these things together, they sound like a list of symptoms. And actually, they sound a lot like, well, rabies. They sound like rabies. Rabies is a virus that's been around people for a long, long time. And even today, it's one that's kind of terrifying because it's 100% fatal. If you're infected with rabies and it's not caught till too late, pretty much the only thing medical science can do for you is to make you comfortable. In fact, even if it's caught really, really early, what's mostly done is that you're given a vaccine, something to help you fight off the virus. So rabies is really, really scary. But if you look at those symptoms, they match pretty well to the horror movie monsters. So, for example, rabies can cause something called hydrophobia, fear of water, right? If you read doctors' testimonials of patients who had kind of end-stage rabies, it's horrifying. They describe them kind of shaking as they're trying to bring water to their lips, as they're trying to swallow. And that's because swallowing is not great for the rabies virus. It's spread through saliva. So it doesn't want the virus anyway. It wants to kind of stop swallowing from happening. So these people who have rabies, they almost act like they're afraid or terrified of water, which sounds a lot like vampires not being able to cross it. Rabies can also cause incredible sensitivity to stimuli, to things like bright lights, like the sun, or really, really strong smells like garlic. So somebody with end-stage rabies might avoid the sunlight, might be repelled by garlic. There's also something called ferocious rabies, which is what most people think of when they think of rabies. Kind of that really, really beast-like angry behavior, frothing at the mouth. And that sounds an awful lot like werewolves and zombies. In fact, rabies is also more commonly diagnosed in men. And if you think back to those old horror movies, the wolf man and vampires, they're oftentimes men. So rabies is this really, really terrifying disease that matches pretty well to those symptoms. In fact, even the animals that are most commonly associated with outbreaks, the animals that are usually seen as carriers, are wolves, like a werewolf, and bats, which are really linked to vampires. So, if, like me, you're planning on indulging in a movie marathon this season, keep in mind, those monsters may be horrible creatures, but they may also just have rabies. If you'd like to read more about the mythologies that we discussed, or rabies itself, you can check out some of the links below. Otherwise, I'm Hannah Weiss from the Science Museum of Western Virginia, and rabies is just the worst.